we're both competitors, and there's no ill will. And once we both get punched in the face, like, we're gonna be locked in.
Has one job to do, which is to let anybody know that's listening that it doesn't make any difference, that boxing is a real sport. My skills versus your skills, of which I am an abundance of and of which you have none of.
After learning that Floyd Mayweather has joined Gervonta's training camp, Jake Paul becomes extremely frightened. Despite his repeated claims that he is keeping upbeat and concentrating on his health, his body language betrays otherwise. The possibility of Mayweather assisting Tank in improving his power and timing raises the stakes to an entirely new level. Supporters think Jake now realizes he's up against a legitimate fighter supported by a boxing genius, and he can feel the pressure.
Cardio, conditioning, it's a sprint and a marathon at the same time. But I feel great, so I don't know, after 5 years of doing it, I'm healthier than ever, mentally doing amazing. So I'm just always thinking of the positive, and even in sparring, I've never been knocked down or knocked out or anything. So I've just yet to experience any.
Have you ever been knocked out?
No, never. I was meditating once. That's how my nose is crooked. People think my nose is crooked from boxing, but I was meditating once. It's the only time I've ever passed out and I got knocked out. But I like was sitting on this higher chair thing, meditating, breathing in, and I think I had like low blood sugar or something, or it was early in the morning, earlier than I normally woke up, and I just fell forward straight into the concrete, and it broke my nose, and I was like knocked out for like.
According to reports, Floyd Mayweather has joined Gervonta in training camp, providing strategy and advice as the fight draws near. His presence infuses Tank preparation with exceptional experience and confidence. Under Mayweather's guidance, Davis concentrates on developing his technique, maintaining his discipline, and honing his mentality for the most important event of his career. A significant disparity in natural size and range is evident to many boxing experts upon viewing this contest. Throughout his career, Gervonta dominated boxers in lighter weight classes, as his devastating blows proved to be particularly lethal to opponents who were about his own weight. But Jake Paul, who has fought as a cruiserweight, enters the ring considerably heavier and uses his height and reach to his advantage. This is the biggest red flag, according to critics. They contend that the size difference is simply too great for the fight to be approved as a valid contest by any official regulatory body.
My question is, what's the rules, and are they going to actually try and knock each other out? Because it's going to be a glorified sparring match. I'm not watching, dude. I don't give a fuck.
Jake's going to have a hard time hitting him.
Yeah.
You know?
Big time. Gervonta's so fast
And
and skilled.
Gervonta's going to eat his
I thought
guts.
Jake was going to fight Anthony Joshua. That seemed
No, that
more,
was actually getting.
That is
sounded
the
more
craziest
interesting.
idea I've ever
Yeah.
heard. Jake Paul trying to fight Anthony Joshua is, yeah, crazy.
not a sanctioned professional bout. This means the fight will not count towards either fighter's professional records.
So it's still being finalized.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like
So
that.
what is, so behind the scenes, you think there are things like, hey, we
Yes.
don't punch
Yeah.
each other in the jaw?
Yep. Or don't go. We can punch the face, but don't go for broke. Like, don't knock me out.
Really?
Yeah. It's exhibition.
That's
so
not
they can
very
get away
interesting
with
to
it.
me.
No. Until I find the rule sets, but when I hear exhibition, I'm like, okay.
Jake is bodied up, man.
It's big.
Yeah.
Probably has 100 pounds on Gervonta.
Maybe. I'd say Gervonta probably walks at 150.
So small.
So small. I mean, he's really small. Bring up Gervonta Davis next to Floyd Mayweather, because I've seen Floyd in person, and he's tiny. You've seen Floyd in person.
I've worked with Gervonta and Floyd.
Tiny.
Well, Floyd likely has shoes on
Oh,
there.
dude, he's so small.
He's tiny.
Yeah. He's so small.
One of the most vocal supporters of Gervonta Davis in this case is C.H. Sonnen. In addition to being a champion, he views Davis as a symbol of boxing in general. Sonnen clarified that while Jake Paul may have increased the number of people watching the sport, this development was accompanied by questions about its legality and quality. Fans now look to Davis to bring everything back into balance. Sonnen thinks Davis has an opportunity to clearly demonstrate what skilled fighters are capable of when pitted against a novice. This bout feels to Sonnen like boxing preserving its reputation and honor. Sonnen acknowledges Jake's contribution to generating awareness globally, but he maintains that Tank needs to perform well to distinguish between hype and genuine talent.
Tank has one job to do, which is to let anybody know that's listening that it doesn't make any difference, that boxing is a real sport. My skills versus your skills, of which I am an abundance of and of which you have none of. My life's commitment and dedication versus a second or third or fourth thought in the world of priority on your list. And I used to believe those things. Now, I go back far enough in MMA that I've had my eyes open a number of times. The fact that karate was so incredibly useless, or the fact that Jeet Kune Do was so incredibly useless, like these were not things that I would have bet on when I was in high school. As a wrestler at that time, I would not have assumed that I would fare well in a fight against somebody that knew Kung Fu. We had all been falsely led through Hollywood. Not through competition, not through sport, not through understanding of the game, but just through Hollywood. We were told that those guys were the most dangerous guys. So, we then eventually get up to Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather, which had a weight discrepancy, but it was very small. I mean, I watched him weigh in. I want to say it was like...
There is a purpose for weight class distinction. By maintaining bodily balance throughout competition, it safeguards fighters. Davis is accustomed to opponents with similar stature and speed. He would go up against Jake Paul, a man whose physique inherently carries a lot more bulk and hitting power. Just the disparity in their walking weights raises questions regarding fairness and feasibility. Tank's strength would remain, but the game would be completely altered if he were to land blows on a much bigger opponent who is able to withstand stronger blows. Many people think that Davis would require more than simply skill to cope with that kind of physical disadvantage, despite his great skill. Even if Jake's technique is not as good as Tank's, he still gains from being the bigger man. That dynamic calls into doubt the actual level of competition in the battle.
When in hell this fight was ever gonna happen, and the fact that y'all believed it, I don't know, you're stupid. So Rick Thompson, chairman of the Georgia Athletic Commission, told USA Today Sports that Paul's promotion company withdrew its request for permits and a rule waiver, citing the 65-pound weight difference between the fighters. The Rick Thompson guy straight up said they've been promoting something they should not have been. Come on guys, like, use your brains. Y'all boxing fans, you understand this. This fight was never gonna happen. This is the article from USA Today. It says the status of the proposed fight between Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis under scrutiny because of the weight discrepancy between the two fighters. Rick Thompson is coming out and saying this stuff because he said he believes it's in the public's best interest to know that they've been promoting something they should not have been. Communications director for the Office of the Secretary of State told USA Today Sports the event will not be happening. But funny enough, tickets are still available. You can still purchase them online, and the fight is still listed.
Gervonta Davis has made it clear throughout his career that he is dedicated to true boxing and the legacy that comes with competing against the greatest. Because of this, some fans are perplexed by his readiness to spar with a social media star who is still figuring out his role in the sport. They believe Davis would be better off competing against highly regarded opponents during this time rather than taking part in a show. These supporters are also concerned that Tank's participation lends legitimacy to influencer boxing. They believe it conveys the idea that popularity is just as important as talent and status. These fans hoped Davis would steer clear of anything that would detract from his compelling championship narrative, despite the fact that the fight would garner significant attention and financial reward.
That's the problem with boxing. Tank Davis is. Jake Paul's doing exactly what he's supposed to do. He's a Disney Channel kid, YouTube star turned boxer. Of course, he's gonna make these stupid spectacle matchups. He doesn't care about his career, his legacy, or the sport. Meanwhile, we have Tank Davis, the heir apparent to Floyd Mayweather and Adrian Broner, who has real talent. And if he was actually consistent in the ring and was willing to get in with some of the best fighters in the world, he could be top 3 pound for pound best fighters in the sport. But instead, Tank just wants to hold up his division for 5 years and make a mockery of the sport, especially with this fight. I know Tank Davis multiple times has said he only cares about the money, just wants to make $100 million and go retire off an island somewhere, but that's bad for the sport, especially coming from one of our sport's biggest superstars. Look at guys like Naoya Inoue, Alexander Usyk, Terrence Crawford. Those guys are real fighters, okay? They challenge themselves against the best fighters in the world, and money comes their way too from it. Don't get it twisted. What's crazy is Tank would make just as much money if he fought Shakur, Devin Haney, even Teofimo Lopez. The biggest tragedy of all is the fact that Lamont Roach isn't getting his rematch. He got robbed in that fight with a knockdown. He definitely would have won the split decision, and he would have got his Buster Douglas moment, but he didn't, and now he can't even get a rematch because Tank is going to do this, and now Lamont Roach has to fight Pitbull Cruz instead. I used to be such a big Tank Davis fan, but over the last year and a half that I've had this channel, the amount of BS that I've had to report on Tank Davis just like this completely turned me off as a fan of Tank Davis. Jake Paul can do his thing with the influencers, the MMA fighters, but with boxers, stop.
In recent years, boxing has undergone significant development. Top-level boxers find it difficult to draw in large crowds unless their fight has a compelling plot or dramatic build-up. Analysts argue that audience behavior is what is causing this change. Fans favor entertainment over athletic merit, scan rapidly, and respond to viral moments. Because of this, promoters prioritize what makes money over what advances the sport. Because it provides instant excitement and dramatic stories, influencer boxing is quite successful. When the focus constantly shifts to contests geared to garner clicks rather than respect, it becomes more difficult for true athletes to shine. Those who are interested in the history and skill development of the sport are concerned about this trend. They believe that boxing's founding ideals are gradually eroding in favor of spectacle-driven events.
Where it's at, I'll expand on that. For one, you have good fights where I'm not talking about these type of fights, crossover type of fight, former Disney guy, influencer stuff, not. And Jake Paul has really promoted himself and acquitted himself to the point where he's kind of a boxer. Now, he hasn't fought the top names, I get it, blah, 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 but he's doing his thing. He's training like a boxer. He's not like taking it lightly, like streaming and then working on his YouTube more than he's working on his boxing. It is what it is, right? But beyond that, let's keep it going. I told you I'm about to really get unpacked. Subscribe to the channel. The reality is, the reason why I'm saying I blame you, the fans, is because we've had some very good fights, like David Benavidez, Caleb Plant, whatever. I'm talking in the last 5-10 years, right? Very good fights, all boxing. So not talking influencer or any type of crossover fight, right? Good fights. And then you got boxing fans in a niche sport who didn't further the exposure by advertising or buying the fight, mostly buying the fight with piracy and whatnot. So now we're at a point in this society where these companies, they're like, all right, they see the piracy is a problem. Now they're looking for a sure shot, must win type of scenario. That's why we're getting these fights that some people, purists and diehards, are calling wonky fights. You know what I mean? It is your fault because when there was real boxing on,
As anticipation for the event increased, organizers encountered an unexpected obstacle. The fight's anticipated location for the fight made the decision that it did not want to be linked to something that was seen as more of an entertainment event than a real competition. The event, according to officials, did not meet the requirements for major sanctioned fights. In order to keep things on track, promoters had to act quickly. They contacted several arenas before locating a new venue that saw the benefit of holding a well-known event. The abrupt shift caused anxiety, but it also demonstrated the promoters' resolve to see this fight through to completion. It demonstrated how quickly boxing's commercial side can change when money and international attention are involved.
Jake Paul is over 50 pounds heavier than Gervonta Tank Davis, and he's nearly a foot taller than Gervonta Tank Davis. So no sanction body wants to, and no commission wants to, should I say, I keep saying sanction body, no commission wants to sanction it. They don't want to be a part of it, as I told you guys. So they announced that the fight was going to take place November 14th in Atlanta at the State Farm Arena where the Atlanta Hawks play. And the Georgia Athletic Commission, he came out and he made a serious statement. And he let the world know that they falsely...
Superior to most current entertainment, the same formula that created them social media celebrities also shapes their fighting careers. They are aware that opportunity comes with attention. They stay relevant by selecting opponents who generate noise. They are able to obtain significant pay-per-view agreements, media attention, and ongoing fan interaction because to this strategy. Their achievements may be questioned by some, but the business success is undeniable. They continue to have a significant impact on boxing as long as they are discussed. For them, the formula is straightforward. They don't strive for rankings or belts. They try to make headlines,